I'm not perfect, believe that, but I showed I can lead that. I'm a world champion, baby, I bet I can breed that. Hey, I'm a world champion, baby.
Welcome to the I Dream of Speaking podcast. I am your host, Ramona J Smith, the 2018 World Champion of Public Speaking, and I am here to help you find your voice so that you can shine brighter, dream bigger, and speak louder. The I Dream of Speaking podcast is all about mastering the art of public speaking, sharing our dreams and aspirations as speakers, and living confidently so that we feel good both on and off the stage. On today's episode, I'll be discussing a topic that is all too familiar to people all over the world. When asked if someone would rather speak in public or die, what do you think the answer is? Most people would rather die than give a speech in public. Yes, public speaking is still more feared than death. Today's episode is all about understanding and overcoming the fear of public speaking. Yes, go get your friend who is afraid to speak in public and let him or her listen to this and watch this to help him or her deal with that fear of public speaking and that public speaking anxiety. Before we jump into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, of course. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss the next episode. We drop every Sunday at 3 p.m. Central. Also, give this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment with your tips and suggestions and your love. I want to thank everyone for sharing the love on episode 1. I appreciate it. And I know the same people who showed up for episode 1 are going to show up for episode 2, 3, 4, 5, and beyond. So thank you so much. Feel free to drop another comment down below. The feedback I received was phenomenal. And trust me, we are going to start to implement some of those changes in the upcoming weeks. Make sure you share this podcast. All you have to do is copy and paste the link. You can email it, you can text it, you can DM it, you can send the link so easily. It is so easy to share. If you know someone who can benefit from the things that we talk about and discuss on the I Dream of Speaking podcast, make sure you share this. Follow me on Instagram at Ramona J Smith 1. At Ramona J Smith, the number 1. On Facebook, I am Ramona J Smith, as well as LinkedIn, Ramona J Smith. You can also check out my email, RamonaJSmith.com. I said my email. You can check out my website, RamonaJSmith.com. You can email me at ispeak@RamonaJSmith.com. If you want to email me, ispeak@RamonaJSmith.com. Make sure you check us out every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, where we go live in our Speakers United Facebook group. Make sure you join that group if you are an aspiring or current speaker. Speakers United on Facebook. We go live and talk about all things public speaking every Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. What is glossophobia? The fear of public speaking is also called glossophobia. Let's dig into it. Glossophobia is a very common phobia characterized by a strong fear of public speaking. Individuals with glossophobia may avoid speaking in public as they typically experience fear and anxiety when speaking in front of a group of people. It is serious. Glossophobia is real. It is not something that people make up. It is not something that people fake. Glossophobia is scary. It is uncomfortable, and it hinders so many people from sharing their stories and their messages on stage simply because maybe they just can't get the words out. There are many symptoms of glossophobia. Let's talk about some of the symptoms that typically present when an individual is either asked to speak in public or is actively speaking in public. Physical symptoms result from a fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response that comes from our reptilian brain that's trying to save us. It puts us into survival mode, during which the body produces adrenaline to prepare for defense against perceived threats. What are those perceived threats? All those eyes that are on you. all those people that are watching you and expecting something amazing from you when you are on that stage. That can be threatening for many of us. This response is characterized by increased blood pressure, elevated heart rate, sweating, stiffening of muscles, nausea, and dry mouth. Many of these symptoms coincide with those of a panic attack. You may feel like you're having a panic attack when you get on that stage or when you are asked to give a presentation in front of a live audience, as individuals may exhibit a feeling of panic when having to speak in public. Verbal symptoms may include a weakened tone. Have you ever gotten on stage and you wanted to be boisterous, but you just didn't have the voice? Like your voice just wouldn't show up when you needed it to. A weakened tone of voice, shaking or trembling voice. Do you hear how clear my voice is? And you hear my tone and it's smooth and it's there and it's strong. If I was overwhelmed by public speaking anxiety, it could sound something like this. And it's not funny. It's funny when I do it, but I'm just trying to give you an example because it happens to so many people. A shaking or trembling voice, rapid heartbeat. I've heard some people say that their heart is beating so fast and so hard that they can hear it in their ears. Trembling of the body. Some people's hands shake. Some people's entire bodies actually shake. Trembling or shaking, sweating, shortness of breath, and hyperventilating. You can't catch your breath. Hyperventilating, dizziness, muscle tension, a strong urge to get away. A strong urge to get away. I got to get out of here. I just need to go. I can't. Like, I try to can, but I can't. Like, you just have to run away to get away. And some people even stammer as if they are inebriated or intoxicated because it is just so overwhelming that it's taking control of their entire bodies and they cannot walk straight. Or maybe their legs even get wobbly or they feel weak in the knees. I guess I'm weak. Okay. These can often trigger nonverbal symptoms such as high anxiety, stress, embarrassment, and fear of judgment during public speaking. The fear of public speaking is real. It can keep people from living out their dreams. It can keep people from promotions at work. It can keep people from proposing. It can keep people from getting a job because they just don't want to do that job interview because they have to speak in front of someone. It is the judgment. It is the fear of messing up. It is all these eyes on you and everybody is kind of pulling from you energetically because they have an expectation of you. They come with an expectation of you to inform them, persuade them, entertain them, give them some type of information that they can use, or simply introduce yourself. The fear of public speaking is real. And I am going to share some tips and tricks with all of you out there who are struggling with speaking in public or the idea or just the thought of speaking in public. As you can see, it can take a toll on you mentally. It can take a toll on you physically. Have you ever seen someone get up on stage and you instantly knew that he or she, they hate it. They hate it. This is not for them. They get up there. You can tell they look nervous. They may be shaking or wringing their hands or playing with their clothes or pacing or holding their head, or they could begin to speak and then stop and then apologize. I'm so sorry. I just need a minute. I just can't. And then they just walk off the stage. Some people have it so bad that they even faint. But have no fear. Ramona J Smith is here. I Dream of Speaking is here. We're going to help you conquer that fear of public speaking. There is hope if you want to. If you want to. Some people don't care to speak in public. Some people are like, you know what? Leave it to the pros. That's okay too. But if you are someone who wants to get over this fear and conquer this public speaking anxiety and this fear of getting on stage, but you know that you really want to, stick around. A question that I often get is, Ramona, have you ever had a fear of public speaking? Have you ever experienced glossophobia? I have to be honest. It's a no for me. It's a no for me. I feel like some people just have a love of being the center of attention. Some people have a love of getting on stage and expressing themselves. I consider myself a very artistic, creative, passionate, animated person. I am energized when I get on that stage. It revives me. It makes me feel like I'm alive. It is what I love to do. When I first started coaching back in 2018, I didn't really have a remedy for it because I had never experienced it. But over the years, as I continued to get the question over and over and over, I started to do some research. And this is what I found about how to overcome public speaking anxiety and the fear of public speaking. The first thing I learned was you can develop rituals, like pre-speaking, pre-game rituals. That way, your mind is focused on other activities and other tasks aside from you speaking on that stage. You have to direct your energy and divert your energy to other things that you create for yourself that you want to do to keep your mind off of that stage and those people and the words that are coming out of your mouth and whether they understand you. And if you have something on your shirt, creating some type of ritual, maybe 3 to 5 steps, will help you to focus more on getting those tasks and rituals done than speaking on stage. Some might say, is that a little OCD? I'm not here to trigger anyone's OCD. I am here to help you focus your energy on something else so that you can get on that stage and perform well. For example, you can have a list of 3 things that you would like to do before you get on the stage, 3 of your rituals, 3 of your tasks. The first thing could be playing a game on your phone. I'm going to play kick the can on my phone and I'm going to play for 2 or 3 minutes. Then I'm going to call my best friend and talk about the weather. Then I'm going to check the sports scores updates. And then I'm going to have a cup of coffee and then I'm going to get on stage. That could be your ritual every single time. You do that every single time. By the time you are done getting your coffee, it's time to get on stage. You got all your rituals complete. You weren't overthinking the audience members. You weren't overthinking what you were going to say so you don't mess up. All you were thinking about was getting those rituals completed because you've already prepared. You've already practiced this speech. You already know the speech. Now let's avoid the anxiety, go through our rituals, get on that stage, kill it. Yes, rituals. The next thing is something very simple that a lot of us already do is breathing. Taking some moments to take in some intentional breaths and breathe them right back out. You can use the Calm app to help you with this. Of course, YouTube has plenty of videos to help you breathe. It'll help you relax, help you slow down those thoughts, help you slow down your heart rate, and get you relaxed and ready to get on that stage and kill it. Another thing is, of course, meditation, being quiet, getting you a good guided meditation from YouTube or the Calm app. This is not sponsored by the Calm app, but anyone who's watching this who may be affiliated with the Calm app, I would love to collaborate with you all. Being calm is so important as speakers. Meditating, silence, a guided meditation to calm you down, clear your mind, and get you ready to get on stage and kill it. Music, of course, listening to music. I love when I see the athletes and they have their big old headphones on, and my son is an athlete, so I got him some of those big old headphones and they just be bobbing and just vibing out in their own little world, just getting ready. Or if you've ever gone to the gym and you see the people with their AirPods in and they just lifting their weights and they just in the zone, no telling what they're listening to, but it gets them in the zone. It gets them ready. You could listen to peaceful music. You could listen to the sound of the rain. You could listen to some Tupac, some DMX, some Nas, whatever is going to get you in the zone that you need to be in. So listen to some music before you speak. Another big one is physical activity. I'm not saying work up a sweat and go to the gym before you speak. I'm just saying you can take a couple of walks around the venue. You can do a couple of jumping jacks in the restroom. Fellas, if you're feeling frisky, you can bust out a couple of push-ups. Now, you don't want to get up with sweat stains underneath your shirt, underneath your armpits, but getting that physical activity done and getting your juices flowing, it's going to help you calm your adrenaline down. And finally, affirmations. Affirmations. Going into your vehicle and looking into your mirror, your rearview mirror, and speaking life over yourself. I'm a great speaker. I'm a powerful speaker. I practice with Ramona. She helped me. We got this. I'm going to go in there and inspire and transform lives. And when I get off of that stage, everybody's going to come up to me and tell me how amazing I was. I'm an amazing speaker. I'm the best speaker in the world. Yes? You can go to the restroom and do that as well. You just don't want anybody to walk in and see you talking to yourself, okay? They may join you though. You might find a new cheerleader. But affirmations, affirming yourself and reminding yourself that if they didn't think you were a great speaker, they wouldn't have asked you to speak. If they didn't think that you were going to do something amazing with your words and with your voice, you would not be there. You're there for a reason. Let's give them that reason. Let's get on that stage and kill it. So rituals, breathing, meditation, music, physical activity, and affirmations are ways that you can calm yourself before you get on that stage. You can calm that anxiety of public speaking before you get on stage. Here are some treatment options. Treatment options can include lifestyle changes, exposure therapy, which is my favorite. Oh, I cannot wait to start getting more in-person clients because my best form of exposure therapy is through karaoke. It's through karaoke. There's also something called CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. And in some cases, people may take medication to ease their anxiety. But in general, overcoming glossophobia is not a simple process, and it requires a lot of patience, willingness, and commitment from the affected individual. I have one more way that you can overcome public speaking and get over your fear of speaking in public. But before I give you that, I have to give you the number one no-no. The number one no-no, what you never, ever want to do before you get on that stage, that is drink or take unprescribed drugs. You never want to get on the stage and speak while you're drunk. We don't drink and speak, people. We don't drink and speak. Now, I'll tell you a story. Story time. Story time. I learned this the hard way a long time ago. And this was before I was actually giving keynotes and things like that. I was doing poetry at a small club in downtown Cleveland. I messed around and had too much wine before I got on this stage to perform my poetry. I guess I was trying to calm my nerves. I'm not sure. I don't think I had any nerves. No, what happened was it was so late, because at some of these venues, they let you perform so late. You'll get there at like 9. You won't get on stage till almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So the time is going by. And I was drinking Moscato at the time. So, I was a lightweight. I was drinking Moscato at the time. And by the time I looked up, I had maybe 3 glasses of Moscato. So I'm feeling good. Baby, when I tell you I got on that stage and forgot the words to my poem, I got on the stage and forgot the words to the poem that I had written because I was under the influence of alcohol. That stuff gets into your bloodstream, it gets into your brain, and it affects the way you speak. It makes you super relaxed for some of us. It releases your inhibitions and you just don't care. Never drink before you speak, and be careful of how much you drink after you speak. Nobody wants to see a sloppy drunk keynote speaker who was just inspiring us and giving us all this great information, and now you're dancing on the table like it's Coyote Ugly. Let's not. Do not drink or do unprescribed drugs before you get on the stage. Stay away from alcohol. Alcohol and public speaking do not mix. You will say things. What is the phrase? Drunk mind, sober thoughts. You will say things that you have no business saying. You may do things that you have no business doing. You may vomit. You may curse, use profanity, and you could ruin a really good relationship with whomever asks you to speak and ruin your reputation. Let's not do that. That is not how we ease our anxiety for public speaking. We do not do that. If you feel like you want to take a drink, call me. Call me. Let's talk it through. Let's talk about it. Let's get you on that stage with no alcohol so that you can be the best version of yourself. My final tip for overcoming the fear of public speaking is working with a public speaking coach. working with a public speaking coach. It is a safe space. It is a place where you are one-on-one with someone who's been speaking, someone who can help you with those filler words, someone who can guide you and give you different tips and tricks of relaxation similar to the ones I just gave you. Work with a public speaking coach to help you ease that anxiety. That's going to be your first audience, a public speaking coach. Guess who happens to be a public speaking coach? This woman right here. I am a public speaking coach. You can work with me easily. I am not hard to find yet. You can easily work with me. You can start by subscribing to the channel, of course. Subscribe to my channel right now. Click it. I'm waiting. Click the bell too so you never miss a notification. Just simply reach out to me. I told you I'm not hard to find. If you are ready to start your public speaking journey because you have a story to tell, because you have a message, because you just want to get in front of the audience and inspire and persuade and inform and entertain, reach out to me and we can start ASAP. ASAP Rocky. I hope that helped with some of the issues that we're having when we suffer from public speaking anxiety. Let's go to my favorite portion of the show. What that mouth do? What that mouth do? As speakers, our most important tool is our voices. It's your money maker. It's your everything. And sometimes we take it for granted. Since we aren't singers or voiceover artists, most speakers tend to neglect properly caring for the voice. Every week, we will discuss one new health tip to keep your mouth and voice healthy. What that mouth do? This week's What That Mouth Do, or WDMD tip, is to get steamy. What that mouth do? Let's get steamy. Let me stop, y'all. Kids watching this. This week's tip is from neamb.com. It states, consider using a humidifier at night or a personal steamer when you are rehearsing your speeches. Humidifiers can be very helpful, especially if you live in a dry climate. The winter months, right now we're in the midst of that, can be particularly drying. The air is dry and cold, and if your space has radiator heat, the air is even more dry. So consider getting a humidifier, turning it on at night, and when you are doing your vocal exercises, when you're rehearsing your speech, have that personal steamer steaming the mist all down your vocalizer. Yes? That was this week's What That Mouth Do tip. Thank you all for another week. Thank you all so much for listening, for watching. On next week's episode, we will talk about why most people think they are not good enough to be a great public speaker. I'll be sharing ways to become a more confident speaker. So make sure you meet me right here, same time next week, because you don't want to miss it. Be sure to share this video, like, comment, and subscribe. Also, send me your WDMD tips for oral health and voice care. Once again, follow me on Instagram at Ramona J Smith. Visit my website, ramonajsmith.com, to stay connected. Make sure you subscribe right now if you haven't already. I would love to come to speak to your organizations, your groups, your clubs, your employees, your team members. I just spoke at a women's conference here in Houston last weekend. I have a bunch of stuff coming up, including ExxonMobil and some other great engagements for Black History Month. It is not too late. I am still looking and booking for 2024 and beyond. Make sure you email me if you would like me to come and speak at your functions. I speak at ramonajsmith.com. It has been my pleasure sharing this time with you. And until next time, let me help you find your voice. Dream bigger, shine brighter, and speak louder. See y'all next time.
I'm a world champion, baby. I bet I can breathe that.